guys, so today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make any eyeshadow work. And the inspiration behind this video was I get nostalgic sometimes for products that have been around for a very, very long time that still exist. And yesterday I went out and I bought a classic. I bought the CoverGirl single eyeshadow in Tapestry Taupe. I hadn't had this for a while and I started trying to remember what it looked like, and so I went out and got it and I brought it home, and the first thing I did was swatch it. If you have just purchased any eyeshadow, don't try to create any kind of a look or put it on your eyes until you have swatched it, because how it's going to look swatched is going to tell you what you need to do to work with this eyeshadow or what you want to put with it. Sometimes I'll swatch what I want to use. Like, all right, for example, this is my lid shade. So I'll sometimes swatch crease shades next to that swatch on my hand just to see, kind of give myself an idea how they're going to look together, because the last thing in the world you want to do is just go ahead and do it on your eyes and then have to take it all off, or worse yet, live with that look all day if you don't like it. So yeah, always swatch it. And the way this swatched on my hand, it looked like silver glitter. It didn't look taupe, and I love taupe, and so I wanted to try to make it look like it looks in the package. And so yeah, it swatched very silver, and it didn't have a lot of like base color to it. It was just like silver glitter. So what I did was I took my Maybelline Color Tattoo in Riskmaker, which is just a matte black cream eyeshadow, and I put a very light layer of that down on my lids, and then I took a little bit of it into the crease. And then I applied the CoverGirl eyeshadow, and then I ended up getting more of the color in the pan. It still looks quite silvery on, but it looks a heck of a lot more taupe than it did if I had not used the black base. Now, if I had had a taupe cream matte eyeshadow that was this color, that would have been perfect. But as far as I know, that doesn't exist. At least it doesn't exist in the drugstore world. I'm sure some high-end brand makes one. If I had had MAC Painterly Paint Pot right now, I would have been curious to see how it would have looked over that, but I don't have that right now. I have Urban Decay Primer Potion, which has no color to it whatsoever. But yeah, using a colored base under any eyeshadow is going to enrich it. It's going to give it more dimension. And I think a lot of people don't do this. It seems to have gone out of fashion. I don't see anybody doing this in tutorial videos anymore. People just start off with a very neutral base and then build eyeshadows from there. But colored bases are your friend, people. If you don't have exactly the right shades, sometimes you can just go to something that is darker and a neutral shade and make it work like I did today. So yeah, Maybelline Color Tattoos, there are lots of different colors to play with. And this one here, this is Chill Girl. This is white, but it's got shimmer in it. If you're working with a shimmery eyeshadow anyway, then the shimmer isn't really going to be an issue, but a white base would be good for any light colors, anything that is like pastel, or just anything that is very light in color. It will definitely look nicer with more cool colors. I wouldn't put a warm color over this, but that is an option. And then Wet n Wild, in their Fantasy Makers Halloween collection right now, they have a white and a black, and these will work as well. Although the black one seems to be kind of a greasy formula. The white one isn't like that. The white one is really nice, but I don't recommend the black one. I bought it before and I felt like it was just kind of, yeah, greasy is the best way I can describe it. Speaking of Wet n Wild, they make eyeshadow sticks. And I don't have any of the bright colors. I have like the most neutral ones, but these can work to do what I'm talking about as well, you know, to use as a base. You can just kind of pop this on your eye and then just blend it out with your finger. The only thing with everything that I'm talking about is you've got to work quickly, because once it sets, you won't be able to blend it anymore, whether we're talking about the Maybelline Color Tattoos, the Wet n Wild Paint Pot, or the Wet n Wild Multi-Sticks. Now, what if you have an eyeshadow that you want to put a colored base under it, but it's sort of an odd shade, and you don't want to use white because it isn't a light shade, and you don't want to use black because it just isn't going to be a color that's going to look good with a black base? What can you do instead? Eyeliners. Eyeliners make great bases as well. So the chances of finding the color that you want in an eyeliner to match your eyeshadow, or to get it to be what you want it to be, because you can definitely mix colors that it doesn't have to match. It could just be a complementary color, but it will alter the color of the eyeshadow, though. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, the chances of finding an eyeliner in the shade that you're looking for, especially nowadays, because it seems like there are a lot of companies that make crazy colored eyeliners. And also, don't forget about gel eyeliners, because gel eyeliners are pretty much like a cream eyeshadow, except they tend to have a slightly stiffer, thicker consistency. And that's one of the biggest tips that I want to give you, is don't use too much. Thinner and lighter of a coat is better. If you put too much, trust me, it's just not going to look good. When you put the eyeshadow on top, you're going to see the base shining through, and it's just going to look like a big cakey mess. So less is more. Just try to thin it out as much as you can. And there's a lot of things out there that are available, especially if you go into the more like professional makeup lines like MAC. If you go to a MAC store, or you go on the MAC website, they have all kinds of products that you can get to work with if you're looking for bases for other things. So let's see, what was the other thing I was going to tell you? I know what I was going to tell you. As a last resort, lipsticks can work, but it depends on the formula. A matte lipstick is going to be your best bet, and you want it to be moist enough that you can blend it, but dry enough that it's not going to crease and make a big mess. I've played around with using lipsticks, and I've had mixed results. So sometimes it will work for you and sometimes it won't. You're just going to have to play around with it. And of course, don't even bother putting it on your eyes. Just, you can test everything out on the back of your hand, and then you'll find out whether something is going to work or not, because all eyeshadows are not created equal. I mean, they all have different formulas, and so definitely do some swatching and make sure that you let whatever base you're using dry completely before you attempt to put the eyeshadow over it. So That's it, you guys. I just wanted to talk about this today because I never see anybody do this anymore. And you can get such amazing results by doing this. And, you know, I used to do this all the time. And then for whatever reason, I don't know if I just got lazy or what, I just started using like a neutral eyeshadow primer and then not even doing this anymore. But yeah, it can really make a difference and give you some more interesting, multi-dimensional, multi-textured looks. So give it a shot and try it and let me know what products you've had the most success with in terms of using an eyeshadow base under your powder eyeshadow. All right, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.